Interesting.
Yeah, definitely a curious decision to be made, to be sure. I mean, this Churnwalker has just been so powerful. And Pain Gaming, it was one of their most played heroes. They know how strong this Churnwalker pick is, but they are still willing to let Ace Gaming have it.
Yeah, I mean, with the Baron ban coming out for Ace Gaming there, that also tells me they want to go for the Vox if it's going to be left open. Either the Vox or something else, such as the Rona, that can play very well with the Churnwalker.
We've seen Kestrel with Churnwalker a lot too.
So Kestrel gets taken off right away.
So Ace Gaming really forced Pain Gaming's hand right there. If they had not banned the Vox, it would have been picked up. The Vox gets banned, the Kestrel comes out, and this is a composition they can siege a turret after another with very easily.
Yeah, what Pain should do here is pick Celeste, because the range on Celeste is going to be a good counter, especially against a weapon Kestrel. As long as you keep your distance, Celeste will win that poke game, especially in the late game. So let's see if they will pick up that Celeste and kind of learn from the other Southeast Asia team that just played on stage.
I wouldn't mind seeing them go for other things that are very bruiser heavy as well. You know, something that can body block those glimmer shots as they come out. Just stand in front of your turret and block those shots so that your turret doesn't get melted quite as quickly, because we know Ace Gaming is going to be wanting to siege up those turrets as much as possible with the Kestrel pick. But yeah, Pain Gaming definitely going to be in a bit of a pickle here as they try and figure out how to deal with this.
Yeah, what's very difficult here is they have to make a choice of either going for a composition that can dive onto the Kestrel later on in the game, or a composition that can hold the siege that comes out in the early game. So if they go for Rona, they will have a very good composition later on with the Ardent Gauntlets. You just get on top of the Kestrel, try to eliminate her. But if you have the Rona, then your early game phase in the lane is very weak, and you would lose turrets. So they're going to go with the Adagio. I'm expecting this one to be either weapon. Honestly, it can be either weapon power or CP. They still have the choice to make that.
The one thing I could see the Adagio doing here against the Kestrel is if you're buying minion candies and constantly healing up your minions, you just continue to keep your minions alive and pushing and prevent Ace Gaming from being able to just siege up non-stop. That's one of the things Adagio can do that no one else can, is provide a little bit of extra health to a minion just to try and disrupt the flow of CSing on the opposing side.
Yeah, I hope Pain Game picks up Samuel here, because if they don't, they're going to... Wow, that's a very
body blocking.
Interesting composition. Yeah, it looks like a lot of body blocking to keep the Adagio alive. This does open up Samuel for Ace Gaming, but you have two pretty tanky front lines there, a Finn and an Arden, that can block the Malice and Verdicts here. But Tasa is just so amazing on that Samuel. And with Kestrel, that's a heavy siege and poke composition that they can run and that they're so comfortable with.
One of the scary things as well is there's a Churnwalker there on that side. So if they get like Samuel that already does cleave damage, as well as that damage being shared by Churnwalker with the Glimmer shots being shared, that could be a lot of AoE coming up.
I mean, the thing is, Finn is actually a great pick into the Churnwalker because you can't move him around. He has immunity to CC, so the Trespass is useless to an extent, as well as the B ability coming out from Churnwalker.
Rona comes out. So it looks like it's going to be a weapon Rona and a CP Kestrel in lane, potentially here. I mean, CP Kestrel in jungle.
Yeah, the thing about the Rona into the Finn is not very mobile. Finn cannot move around very much. Rona can just sit there and stack up on the Finn. As long as she avoids the quibbles and doesn't get stunned, it could be a very, very scary Rona that Ace Gaming are bringing to the table. But this composition from Pain Gaming, I love the fact that they are willing to go off meta and bring something unconventional to the table.
Yeah, I mean, as a team, they know that going up against Ace Gaming, they're realistic with themselves. They know that Ace Gaming are the favorites coming into it, so they're saying we have to pull off something that no one else has seen in this tournament to try and surprise them and take wins and perhaps even the series.
All right, well, gentlemen, it's that time once again. Predictions coming on through. Suije, we'll start with you. Which team is going to take this?
I mean, Creation is on Kestrel, so I got to give it to Ace Gaming because of that.
My heart says Pain because this composition is... 2 years ago, this was my favorite composition in all of Vainglory, but I do think Ace Gaming is going to be able to take this.
Yeah, I'll have to say Ace Gaming, just a much stronger team coming out of East Asia.
All right, all three of my analysts are predicting the TSM Slayers to take this one out. They managed to win out the group of death. Can they continue on to the semifinals, or is Pain Gaming going to fight this one out? It's time to find out as we pass it up to our casters for quarterfinal number 3.
Thank you very much, Munch. I am Medic, and I'm joined here by Denomine for this third series of the day. And what a series it looks like it's going to be. No one could have predicted that draft phase to start us off.
It's definitely interesting, and I can't wait to see what we actually see come out of it, because Weapon Power Kestrel for East Asia seems to be one of their strongest picks that they really go for. Can we possibly see a Crystal Rona in the jungle? Maybe. That would be pretty neat. But, you know, we really got to talk a little bit about the Adagio, Arden, and Finn combination. So definitely some crazy picks here. Will it pay off for Pain? We'll have to see.
We'll have to wait and see. You know, they surprised people yesterday by beating Elite 8-2-0 to make it to the quarterfinals. I'm sure they'll surprise a lot of people, even if they can take a single game off Ace Gaming, who looked so strong earlier in Group D.
Yeah, I think Ace Gaming is definitely one of everybody's favorites coming into this tournament. You know, they were able to bring down rocks throughout the regular seasons. And then, you know, coming into this close competition, we've seen it very back and forth between North America. Obviously lost TSM and Rocks, the top 2 from last year, so things have really switched up.
We are going to jump onto the Halcyon Fold. It's the first game of our 3rd series of the day. It's Pain Gaming taking on Ace Gaming. And it is the battle of 2 titanic teams here. Who shall swim and who shall sink? We'll find out.
Well, it's not looking like any Crystal Rona for me here today, Medic.
That's a shame. It's a shame.
But Tassa will be go ahead and getting on that Crystal Kestrel. Can be a very strong pick if you set the plays up.
Going to have a little bit of engage here as they fight around that first Treant. Churnwalker so good at level 1, of course, for the extra damage you get out. The Elder Treant will be started up here by Ace. Pain Gaming trying to respond. Finn, with that polite company, drags them back. The hooks and the chains are still on. Treant goes across towards Ace Gaming, and Pain retreat.
Yeah, they're going to get out unscathed. Everybody makes it out. No first blood, but as you mentioned, that Treant is going to go ahead and go over to the side of Ace Gaming. So they take themselves a very slight advantage here in the beginning. And now, you know, pretty common rotations here. We'll have the jungler and the laner rotate to the back, get that ambient gold, ambient experience. And that kind of helps just get the game rolling. Obviously, the carries have more expensive builds than the captains, you know, just based on the price of the items. And you want that damage to come through on a Crystal Kestrel. It needs to be there early so they can really push an advantage.
Triple Crystal bit already on that Kestrel will be taken in the jungle, whereas we have Creation on the Rona in the lane. We were a little bit surprised not to see the double poke composition, because earlier on Ace brought out a Samuel Kestrel alongside Aroma to really poke down their opposition and take down TSM incredibly quickly. They broke the choke turret at the 7-minute mark in that game. Here they've gone for something a little bit more teamfight focused, perhaps a little bit more defensive as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, that's one of the big compositions that EA has really been known for. You bring that Kestrel into the lane, very good at forcing up the wave early on, pair it with a Crystal Jungle, and it just makes it very easy to rotate up and overpower the enemy.
Bit of action here as Creation jumps into the fray, looking for the damage down on towards Pain. The escape down towards the bottom side of it already. We see the Adagio go down. Ace Gaming with first blood and second blood off the back of that fight, and third blood. They actually get an ace only 2 minutes in, living up to their name.
Yeah, great plays coming out of them. And, you know, looking out over here, this Arden appears to be going on to another Crystal Arden build, and that's going to be kind of a fun setup later on. You know, with the Finn, I can see some really cool plays getting set up with the Forced Accord through the Gauntlet wall. We'll just have to see if they're able to execute on it. That is going to leave a Weapon Adagio in the lane, where he does have some advantages. He has a very long range, can get a lot of basic attacks out safely, but he has to be worried about that heavy dive coming out of the Rona. Adagio does not have any way to get out of combat once the enemy team has committed onto him.
Ace Gaming bringing out the Churnwalker early on here as well. It's a pick that we've seen prioritized by a lot of teams, but we haven't always seen it be the most effective throughout this tournament. I'm sure Youngju here will have a great amount of experience on this hero and will show us just how you play Churnwalker.
Yeah, Churn's actually been a hero that's been banned quite frequently in this Worlds event. Again, we are on 210, and they don't want anything to do with those hooks and chains, as well as the big AoE stun that can come out of that Trespass can really sway the way a fight goes. If you pair it up with an Echo, you can really set up some really beautiful combos for your team. And it's going to be all about Pain Gaming here. They need to be careful on what they allow Youngju to do. If you allow him to position Adagio favorably for this Kestrel, you could essentially see someone get pulled into the active camo, and that could be real devastating.
It could be incredibly devastating. The Crystal Power Kestrel does a huge amount of work with that active camo. The third Treant did go down towards Ace as well, so they have secured themselves about a 2,500 gold lead, only 4 minutes in. Looking incredibly strong, but haven't put too much damage down on towards that turret in the lane yet.
Now, they haven't been able to, again, you know, if it was a Kestrel in the lane, you know, we might have been able to see a little bit more wave push. A little bit slower farm early on for the Rona, so we're going to have to see how things go out. The one-shot, one-kill, going to just go a little bit north of that one. And now with Ace Gaming coming into the lane, that's just going to be Pain rotating back. And Sir Mustard just making sure that he's safe here, looking out for those hooks and chains.
And it's odd to see Ace Gaming in this position because they're fighting for the pride of East Asia, really. We expected a lot of East Asian teams to get through to the quarterfinals. It's only Ace Gaming left, the champions of that region, fighting for the pride of the area from which they come. And I think a lot of people will predict Ace Gaming coming into this tournament and into this series as the favorites. But Pain Gaming definitely stand in their way. They've had upsets before, continued pressure on this turret in the lane as well by Ace, but not quite able to get any kills as of yet.
Yeah, and as we see the Kestrel come into the lane, that is one huge thing for these Crystal junglers that capitalize early based on their Crystal ratios. We see those Glimmer shots chunking out Pain Gaming, and now Ace might even look to get some damage down on this turret as they have a full wave here.
Jaswina quite low, doesn't have the fountain either. Ace have one of their own alongside the Shatterglass for Tasso, so they're looking for the turret. They will get it down, so Mustard going to be the first to fall. The turret somehow still alive as that barrier comes back up, but eventually it will go down as well. One shot, one kill, threads the needle between the two members of Pain Gaming. But Ace get exactly what they want off that push.
Yeah, Ace take a huge lead here up. Under 6 minutes, 4 kills, first turret. They're working on a 4,000 gold lead as they find Falcon Dorian down here in the jungle.
Working on a 5th kill as well.
Yep, and now they're going to, again, objective control is strong for the East Asia region. They take down that Crystal Sentry. They're right here. They've already got a kill. There's no possible way Pain Gaming could have came and contested it. And now that's a whole jungle rotation as well going over the side of Ace Gaming.
And this is what we expected to see from Ace Gaming as well. They're so strong, they're so methodical in the way they play. It's objective, and then you push into the enemy jungle, you steal away these camps, you take the gold away from the enemy, and we're starting to see Pain Gaming just slowly choked out of this game. There's not really much on the Halcyon Fold for them to collect. Look at Falcon, his CS is 16 at the moment, and Creation and Tassa are sitting up around that 50 mark.
Yeah. Ace have done a great job with their rotations. Anytime they get the opportunity to get this Kestrel in the lane, they know Adagio's a little far forward. Those Glimmer shots rain through, and I mean, if you land all 4, we saw, it was a dead Adagio. So even if you don't get the kill, Ace is a very smart team. If they force the enemy back, they'll turn their aggression very quickly onto the objective and just continue to push that lead. It's well worth not getting a kill to get the objective if you can do so.
Definitely is. Tassa gets an early infusion as well, has that one ticking over, building up towards his next CP item, likely to be the Clockwork there on the Kestrel. Breaking Point and Serpent's Mask already on Creation as well. Remember, we're not even 8 minutes into this game, and he's already sitting at 2 completed Tier 3 items. You can see Mustard's trying to respond to this pressure from Ace Gaming by getting himself a weapon infusion, but is that enough at this point?
Yeah, and a weapon infusion now in pocket of Ace Creation as well. He's a little bit low on health right now, but we know how sustainable Rona can be. Obviously, the fortified health that comes through the red mist, as well as has the healing flask ready to go, and that Serpent's Mask in his build as well can be just so easy. It makes Young Ju's job so much easier because he can save all of his utility for Tassa, who on the Crystal Kestrel, if he gets damaged in the middle of combat, he's not going to be able to use that active camo to dance around the fight. And as we get into that point, it's going to be very important for Jaswina to keep vision control. Even if you're not winning the vision control, you have to have enough that Tassa doesn't just have free reign over the map like right now.
Oh my goodness gracious me, that is disgusting. That shouldn't be allowed in Vainglory. Muster chunked out. The one-shot, one-kill will take half of the Rome's health as well. That Finn is struggling as he tries to get back towards the lane, but Ace just using the zone control they have with that Kestrel going towards the turret. Here comes the Gauntlet. Falcon trying to stop Ace in their tracks. The turret will fall very quickly. It goes down. Creation still alive. Muster low in the backline as well as the active camo comes in. The aggressive play here from Tassa is he's looking for more kills. The Trespass gets the stun onto Falcon Dorian. The Finn just about getting away, but Falcon's been pulled back in. One shot, one kill! Goodbye! Ace Gaming get 2 and they look to push towards the choke point turret here as well. 8 minutes in, they are looking to close out this game really quickly, and they will get their third turret of the game. It's been perfect thus far from our Korean champions.
The rotations coming out of this team are absolutely amazing. As we see, that control of just taking down the objectives is so huge for Ace. They just do such a beautiful job forcing Sir Muster out early. The trespass comes through, stuns up Falcon Dorian. They're able to clean up that kill. And then Tassa, the rotation down to the jungle to get that one-shot, one kill around the Finn, just takes down Adagio.
I didn't realize one shot, one kill was a targeted ability to nominate. It seems to be for Tassa. That was absolutely beautiful. Ace Gaming 7 kills to 0 up. We are less than 10 minutes into this game and they have a 10,000 gold lead to nominate. Looking at a perfect game here as well for them. Haven't given up a Treant, haven't given up a gold miner, haven't given up a turret, nor have they given up a kill, and they want a few more for their own. Into the break comes in, the active camo from Tassa. They're gonna walk straight into that stun. Bouncing used by Pain Gaming, but another stun, and Tassa is just shredding through Pain. They live up to their name, they feel the pain, and Ace Gaming get another ace for themselves.
They've done such a great job. They've been in the driver's seat all game long, coming off of a great triple trespass stun there out of Youngju. This looks like Ace. They might even just be looking to close out this game. They have the Ace Wave minions, and they're splitting the aggro.
Are they going to win this game before 11 minutes? Pain are trying to stop them, but I don't think Ace really care. Youngju in that front line is looking for the re-engage. That active camo is absolutely deadly. The stealth in from Tassa. He's waiting to see if Pain overextend here. The pull back, Falcon Dorian in that front line. The sentry's been eliminated. One shot, one kill is going to connect, but Jesuino Ferrowall tank that one up for the time being. You can see Ace just want to close this one out. They want to get to game 2, and that's exactly what Creation is trying to do. The stun once again. Muster just about surviving up towards the backline. The dive in from Falcon. Muster's going to go down. Creation doing a lot of work. Falcon's low as well, as Tassa will eventually take him out with the glimmers if he can connect. Falcon dodging around with his fancy feet, but the crystal goes down just before the 11-minute mark, and Ace are absolutely dominant in